People of the internet, welcome back to another video. It is I, Don Thomas, back in here. As always, greatly appreciated. Thank you guys for the likes, the comments, the subscribes on the journey thus far. Thank you so much. Of course, it's greatly appreciated. And without further ado, let's get into today's topic, folks. An interesting one, man. I think I kind of spoke on something of this sort not too long ago. But as recent as about 3 days ago, this comes in from CNN. An article reads, scientists report creation of first human synthetic model embryos.
Researchers in the US and the UK say they've made a leap forward. They've created synthetic human embryo-like structures from stem cells that are more advanced than any similar structures made so far. Now, what they created doesn't have a beating heart or even a brain, but they raise troubling legal and ethical questions. Scientists say these embryo models could someday improve our understanding of genetic diseases or what causes miscarriages. The embryo-like structures are confined to test tubes. Implanting them in a womb would be illegal.
Human synthetic model embryos, right? Heard about this story some time ago. Like, wait, what is going on? What is going on, people? I don't get it. The article goes on to read, a team of researchers in the United States and United Kingdom say they have created the world's first synthetic human embryo-like structures from stem cells, bypassing the need for eggs and sperm. Now, of course, as we all know, birds and the bees, the foundation of life and creation itself, we pretty much are aware that, to our knowledge, you needed an egg and you needed a sperm to be considered a human born of natural birth, or whatever the case is, given from a woman, whatever the case is. But it seems as if innovation has no bounds. It seems as if technological advances have no bounds, no limits, people, which is one of the main things I question every single time on this channel. Let's go on to read. It says here, these embryo-like structures are at the very earliest stages of human development. They don't have a beating heart or a brain, for example, but scientists say they could one day help advance the understanding of genetic diseases or the causes of miscarriages, right? So they always lead with the benefit. Hey guys, this is what we're doing it for. Hey guys, this is all we want to do. This is going to help us not have to worry about XYZ. You know, they lead with the benefit, right? The value, of course, call those the value props. Of course, they're going to lead with that. And, you know, touch on the heartstrings of those who have maybe experienced miscarriages and things of that nature. But then, guys, we always got to look on the other side of the coin and ask ourselves, what dark path are we going down when we are starting to create human-like beings that don't go through the regular process of human life, right? The beautiful, joining of man and woman to create a healthy baby boy, baby girl, whatever the case is. Are we now saying we don't need that process anymore? What does the world look like for women in particular, where we figured out the way to have babies and create humans without the need of the woman? Right? Because I feel like women, right? Kudos to them for carrying, in most situations, of course, 9 months, going through labor, the pregnancy, this, that, and the other. If we're starting to make babies in a lab, where do our women? And not to say women are only good for, having children. Don't get me wrong. Please don't misconstrue what I'm saying. But I'm like, if we take such a process, the process of bringing humans into the world, and we're saying now that we're content with making them in labs, what does that mean for civilization moving forward? With the advancements of these robots and technologies and things of that nature, and I've said this time and time again before, what does that mean for humans? Does this not slowly tie into the notion of humans not being needed? You see how things like this kind of, are one up or are an argue point for those who believe in depopulation and things of that nature. I vaguely spoke on that before as well too. There's a theory out there that people believe There's a depopulation agenda, right? So the lowering of the human count, human head count, right? Some believe it's too much. 8 million is too much. And if we, continue on at the rate that we're going, the earth supposedly won't be sustainable for the amount of humans that are populating this planet. So people believe that there are agendas where to lower that head count or to keep it at a manageable rate, you start doing things like this, man. You start, I don't want to dive down that right now, but you get what I'm saying. Guys, I'm always here just to question the ethics and the morality. And I think that's the whole point of this article as well, too. They're questioning, hey, should we be doing this, right? Of course, as always, I'm always going to encourage you to do your own research on such topics, man. But clearly you can see, due to my tone, I guess, of how I'm speaking and my initial reaction. Like I said, I'm you know where I stand on this topic. I did a video on this before. There's something about a facility that I saw. Mind you, it was just a model. It was a mock model of what they were calling baby facilities or embryo facilities. Ectolife. Ectolife was the name of it. Ectolife, of course, is a mock idea of a facility where, hey, you don't need to necessarily go through the same process. Essentially, we just build this facility, put a little, mix a little bit of the mom, a little bit of the dad's genes. You put them in a little microwave, I guess you could call it a little capsule, whatever you want to call it. And in 9 months' time, come pick up your baby when it's ready. What direction are we heading down? Now, you take that, concepts like that, and you take that and you incorporate the VR world, and you incorporate, the micro brain Neuralink chip and things like that, things of that nature. The direction in which we're going, if this is going to be the technologies that we're putting all our energy in, I don't see a world where all of this is, it all can't be just rainbows and, sunshine when we're dealing with such things like this, people. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I think we are walking and entertaining down a path that is, I'm thinking a long haul, detrimental. It's a little bit creepy. It's scary. And is it ethically, morally, spiritually correct, do you think? Now, for some people who don't, subscribe to any specific religion or, spiritual belief or whatever the case is, you might say, hey, what's the problem? I see no concern here, man. We want to, alleviate miscarriages, right? Don't we? We want to alleviate, people that, have child complications upon birth and things of that nature, right? Yeah, I hear you. We do want to alleviate all of that, man. But maybe we should, use some of the resources to figure out why these things are happening in the first place. Is it the food we're eating? Is it the, are these all, the list is long of things that we can maybe point the finger at as to why these things are. Miscarriages and cancers and tumors and all these other things. What if we just double down on the resources to solve those problems instead of coming up with a solution where we're starting to now play God and create humans in labs? That's all I'm saying. I don't think that's how the game is supposed to be played, people. In this thing called life, I think we're crossing some lines if we're now saying we are okay with creating humans in labs, mixing embryos. I think I saw another article the other day. And again, a lot of these things, you don't know what's fake news, you don't know what's real news, you don't know anything these days, right? So you got to take everything you come across with a grain of salt. But I think I saw some other article where they were talking about like, they used 3 genes or, forgive me, I'm not in this realm to know the scientific terms or whatever the case is, but there's like they grabbed cells and genes from 3 different people. I forgot what it was, but 3 different people to create one baby, one child, one embryo. What are we doing? Are we the mad scientists trying to create Frankenstein? Like, what's the end goal here, man? Does our innovation have no limits? Does our innovation and our desire to want to innovate and create, things we've never done before, does it not have a line that we don't care to cross? Or are we just saying, hey, man, we're willing to cross all the lines, all boundaries. We want to build a tower that reaches God, right? As I mentioned in my previous video about the Babylonians who wanted to do things that wasn't necessarily called for them to do. Guys, I don't know, man. This is a little bit creepy if you ask me. I think it's heading in the wrong direction if you ask me, man. What are your thoughts, people? With the creation of synthetic model embryos in labs. What are your thoughts on that? What's the benefit of that, do you think, guys? What's the movie I was watching the other day? Or, you know, there's a lot of things. I think I was watching, what is it? The new series of Black Mirror. Talking about replicas. All these movies I speak about like replicas, right? Do we see a world with replicas? Identical versions of you that look just like you, but lack maybe soul and empathy. Do you believe in a soul? These are all just questions I'm posing to you as well. How does news like this alter your current reality? It's ultimately what I'm getting at as well too. What do you make of this? Everything that you thought you knew about like civilization, right? And just like human biology and just like the world. When you hear things like this are possible, what does that do for your current spiritual beliefs, your religious beliefs, your own idea of self? What is such things, knowing these things are possible, what does that do for your whole life trajectory of how you kind of thought, what you kind of, you know, felt was the right thing or the correct way of how humans are operating? Questions, comments, concerns down at the bottom, folks, in the comment section. I feel away, man. I don't know. Clearly, you see I feel away, right? Like I think we're doing too much. As I said time and time again before, I think we're doing too much. I think it's a bit much. What are your thoughts? As always, greatly appreciated. I will catch you guys on the next one.